I was gonna say shout out to anybody that's checking out my live or checking out this video. But right now, all I want to do is just give you a quick home workout equipment tutorial. Being that if you familiar with my channel or the type of exercises that I do at home, if you've seen any of my videos, then you'll notice I use a lot of items that could be found around the house or around the home or whatever. Um, I use body weight the majority of the time. So a lot of push-ups, dips, squats, which, I'm not gonna lie, I skip leg day more than I should, but you don't necessarily need weight, just your body weight plus gravity and reps. I'm not saying you're gonna build a most massive frame from that, or your legs should be the biggest, but they'll definitely be strong for sure. Um, so we want to build functional strength. It's not just about the aesthetic, which a good look is literally a good look, but we wanna focus on the health and performance aspect of the fitness, not just the look. All right, so with that being said, pretty much just gonna give you a rundown on the items that I use around the house and explain what muscle groups they work, or I guess the benefit for physical therapy purposes. For instance, we'll start with this. We just got a jug of water. So if you're new to working out, or you haven't worked out in a while, or you're coming off of an injury and you want to lift some type of weight and not just, do push-ups, like your body weight may be too much for whatever you have going on, maybe too much strain on your joints, and you just want to curl something. I would suggest this. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you weigh or how little you weigh. If you lift your arms like this with nothing in it, and you do it enough times, you're literally gonna feel a burn. You're gonna get a workout. Just saying, it's the motion. The resistance helps. So this will do more than you would think. So say, I have a background in construction and warehouse factory work, and I want to work out when I get home or on my off day. But my shoulders are sore from work, or I feel like I might have pulled something at work. I want to loosen up and still get like a good workout or at least warm up. I'll just grab this. I could do something isolated with it. You could do it seated. So for instance, if I want to loosen up my shoulders, I could just start, you know, like this. Just slow motions. I mean, you could alternate the water jug if you want, as far as just turning the wrist, just to switch up the motions. It don't matter if you lift it this way, like straight out in front of you, with your thumb facing that way, or if you feel to turn it to the side. Still's working, helping loosening it up. Depending on your injury or how sore you are, your range of motion will vary. So of course I'm not doing the actual workout, I'm just demonstrating. So it's not like I have to do the same amount on this side, but you get the idea. That's just for that forward motion for your shoulders to loosen up. You do the same for the side. From the side, seating or sitting down. So you either do these seated, sitting down, or you can do them standing. To be honest, most of the time I do these standing, but you probably would get more emphasis on the area that you're working if you were seated. I'm not sure, but I would imagine. But again, this is just for warm up purposes. Loosen up, to loosen up your shoulder joints. Just get your body ready for the range of motions you'll be doing for whatever workout you'll be doing. So, same, same. I mean, you could do this. I mean, just to get your body prepped and loosened up. I mean, you could do this without anything in your hands. But if you're gonna actually lift something, I mean, this is like what I use. So enough of that. It's just like a little example. Of course, stretching. Stretching is always the best method to fully loosen up. But just using the water jug is good for a warm up for sure. Just to loosen up. So, all right. So that's just one. Of course, anybody you can find water jugs around the house. Milk. All the water jugs I use are just, empty gallons of milk. And I just rinse them out, clean them out, and fill them up with water. And there you go. You got weight, literal water weight. So just something else is just two of them together with the old sock for grip. So I can, make a handle. So different ways you can work out with this just to increase the weight. Obviously, it's not super heavy, but it's a little heavier than just one of them. So if you want to add a little more resistance, just add two. If you're used to lifting more, or you feel like you want to lift more, then add three, add four. However many you can tie together. It's just for isolated on one side. So if you have four, obviously on one side working out, that would be 8 all together. But that's up to you. But I'm showing you what I use normally. And let's say I weigh at least 200 pounds, it works for me. But interesting fact, Black Vega started off when I want to say 135. I went from 135 to like 145, 155, 165, 75, 85, so on and so forth. So at this stage in my life, I'm 37 years old. Lord willing, in July I'll be 38. And I guess you could say for the past year I've been 200 plus, which I've never been 200 in my life. So I'm still getting adjusted to the weight. All right, let's continue. All right, so with this, the 2 gallons together, whether you're a beginner or I don't know, expert on working out, obviously you know how to curl. You would do it the same way I would imagine you would hold a dumbbell. I like to do mine like this with, hand behind my back or arm behind my back to just focus on, the isolation aspect of the workout. You could do these slow. Or you can rep them fast, It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. It just varies. Slow. We can do them faster. The goal is to try to remain in control of the workout. So that's especially critical when working with water weight because obviously water is free forming. doesn't actually have a form until you put it into whatever, you're containing it in. So it likes to slosh around a lot. So I find it helps as far as building stabilizing muscles as well, because you're having to put more focus and emphasis on the control of the workout, not just the workout itself. Basically not just the curl itself, but a controlled curl where the weight isn't sloshing around, and you're getting a good control workout. Okay, moving forward. Another workout you can do, or exercise you could do, using the same gallon of water or gallons of water. So tricep extensions. I don't know if you could call these skull crushers, or if you actually have to be laid back doing the extension from like your forehead in order for them to count as skull crushers. But tricep extensions, whatever you want to call them, but it works your tricep basically. For those of you who don't know what the triceps are, it's the back portion of your arm, those muscle groups. To apologize, I don't have better definition to actually show you so you can see everything. But Black Vega is gonna work on his fitness more, so I can set a better example for you guys. So the same advice I'm giving you, Black Vega needs to take to heart himself. So I'll make sure I do that. Anyway, moving forward. So the same wars with the sock tie for the handle and the grip. You would just put behind your head. But obviously you don't want the water resting directly on your back. So kind of keep it at a little distance so it don't get snagged on the push upward or the extension. Because if you did it that way, obviously it would be like this. And that would be a very uncomfortable workout. It's touching and dragging and scraping on the way up and hitting you and doing the same thing on the way down. And it's just a sloppy workout. So you want to make sure you got some distance between yourself and the water and raise. If you want to fully extend, or if you want to, midway. But that's a good workout, I find, for the triceps. And we do the same on this side. Again, careful not to have the water touching your back or the back of your neck or the back of your head. Distance between you and what you're working out with, and extend. And of course, you will do these as many times as you feel necessary. It's up to you. I don't ever tell people like, oh, you have to do X amount. Go at your own pace. Do what's comfortable for you. If two of the water jugs together is too much strain on your joints or too heavy, then just use one. You won't even need the sock unless, you really wouldn't need the sock with this. I guess you could turn it upside down. Just make sure whatever you had of water in, don't necessarily have to be, an old gallon of milk carton or jug. Just make sure it's sealed. And you could do the same thing, for enough times. There's different ways to do this exercise, obviously. Me personally, I like to have a little more resistance than this for my back arms, triceps. But to each their own. Moving forward. So we covered so far warm up for the shoulders using a gallon of water, which obviously, that would be the workout as well. You know, covered curls, covered tricep extensions or skull crushers, all done from a seated position. Again, you can sit down and do these, or you can stand up and do them. You probably feel more emphasis on the workout if you sat down and done them, though. I'm not sure. Everybody's body is different, and everybody is more comfortable in different ways. So again, to each their own. I'm not going to tell you that's the wrong way to do it. So if it works for you and you feel the workout and you're not straining yourself and you don't feel uncomfortable, then keep up the good work. So, okay. Guess this will be the last little demonstration so far. Back to curls. So this is like a rod from I guess you can call it a retractable mop or some Swiffer type of piece of cleaning equipment around the house that I don't use anymore. So just basically detached it. I think it's 3 or 4 parts, and I detached it because I see pretty much even bar. And when you want to do curls with the water, but you don't just want to curl with the sock as the weight. With the sock as the grip. You can use this. You just got to make sure that it's steady because, the surface of this rod is pretty slippery. And you want the workout to be as even as possible. You would do the same thing, so instead of it being isolated, we're doing it together. And this could be a good finisher for your bicep curl workout. Once you've done however many on each side, isolated, you could do however many of these until you can't lift your arms anymore if you want to, or just until you feel it. I'm just showing you guys just things that I do around the house. What's available to me around the house. And you could do the same. No excuses, just results. If you want to build muscle, you want to build strength, you don't need a gym membership. You don't need to go to a gym. But it would help if you worked out. If you don't just want to do push-ups, showing you other things that you can do. Because I'll be honest with you, some days Black Vega doesn't want to lift his 200 and something pound vessel against gravity on the floor. So if I want to work my triceps, I do the exercise I just showed you guys. It's the tricep extensions. But if I do want more resistance than just water, if you've seen my channel and you've seen the videos of me doing dips, I do that in my kitchen on the countertop. So it's some body weight, but it's not as much as if I was just on the ground, I believe. Maybe the energy exerted from getting down on the ground, pushing up however many times, and then standing up and doing it all over again for however many reps. And normally when I do push-ups, I tend to do a whole lot of them for me to get a good workout. Because again, I don't go to the gym, so I don't bench weight, and that's like nature's bench press, push-ups. So I guess that's it for now. Pretty much covered all the basics, just giving you guys an introduction to the items and equipment that you can make shift around the house to use to get a good workout and get some results. So I appreciate y'all checking out my video. Make sure you continue to check out my channel for more hopefully it's helpful exercise tips, workout advice, and just positive energy and motivation. So again, appreciate y'all checking this out, man, and I'll holler at you guys again. Stay safe out there. God bless.